Hello, Leo. It's Maggie the Irish Gypsy bringing you your November 2024 mid-month general reading. We're looking at the second half of November, and this reading is for you, the fire sign of Leo, our lovely lions. As always, thanks for being here, for taking the time to watch these videos. It's a gift to be able to create them, and by watching them, you make yourselves part of that gift. For those of you who like, share, and subscribe and support my channel, my gratitude to you as well. So Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, this video is for you. Cross-watchers, for those of you cross-watching for a Leo, this video is relevant and important as well. It's a general reading, so it might resonate a little differently for everyone who watches. Take what resonates for you, leave the rest behind. If you know your other signs or sign placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, it can be helpful to watch those videos as well for additional insight. If you find that something really does resonate with you, it really hits home, and you'd like to take a deeper look at something and reach out for a personal reading with me for yourself or as a gift for someone else, we are beginning to enter the holiday season, and they do make great gifts. If you're interested in that, or you simply resonate with the reading style, you can email me, Maggie, the number 1 McGuire at gmail.com. You can click on the description of this video to see that contact information as well. Click on that word more, you'll see it there. I would love to hear from you, and I can usually get back to you either the same day or within 24 hours. I do offer lots of different choices for reading options. I cover all areas of life, different types, lengths, styles, costs, spreads. There's something in there for everyone. And I'm quite diligent and focused on the timely scheduling of personal readings as well. It's all that I do. I do this full time. So if you're interested, email me. All right, Leo, let's see what's in store for you for the second half of November 2024. I am using the Royal Deluxe Tarot, clarifying with the Gilded Tarot. For those of you who will be celebrating Thanksgiving later on this month, happy Thanksgiving to you. Okay, Leo, we begin with the Five of Wands. Some conflict here. Perhaps conflict within yourself or conflict with somebody else or other people. Two of Wands, a choice. What path do I take? What choice do I make? There's a dilemma here. Conflicted as to which way to go. We have Temperance. So balance, learning how to adapt and adjust. It's also about restraint. With the Page of Swords. It feels like part of the conflict, and maybe all of the conflict for some of you, Leo, has to do with a moral or ethical issue that you're wrestling with. You know, there's obviously a choice here to be made with the Two of Wands, but it feels like you're struggling to see what the right way is that you can live with. Let's keep going. We have the Fool, the very first major arcana card. That's why the Fool has the 0, right? This is where a whole new cycle begins. We go through many in our life. The Fool is the very first major arcana card. The World is the last. And all the cards in between there represent a cycle or a phase in our life. We go through many. So the Fool represents starting brand new, a fresh new chapter, which means ending something, closing doors on something else, getting out of your comfort zone, taking a risk, a leap of faith. It can sometimes represent being foolish too, but it's the willingness to go in a new direction to see with strength. This is facing your fears, your doubts, your insecurities. It represents that you have the courage, strength, and resilience to move forward on a new path. You're going to have to navigate it carefully, I think, because there's challenges here. Again, I'm feeling a sense of kind of morals or ethics at play here. It might be that there's something that you want, and you may feel that there's a way to do it, but you're struggling with knowing, is this right? Is it going to hurt somebody else? And if so, can I lessen or mitigate that? Like, what's the right thing to do here? From the bottom of the deck, representing overall energy, Leo, for the second half of November, we have the King of Wands, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy, your energy, showing up as a king, but this is a generating, so it could be female. This is likely you. For some of you, it may also be another fire sign that's relevant. I'm going to pull one more card. The Wheel of Fortune, change. Divine timing and orchestration, meaning God, Spirit, angels, and guides are bringing change in. And you're trying to figure out how to navigate through it. So let's peel it back a little bit. Let's take a look at that overall energy. King of Wands, Wheel of Fortune. We have the Emperor. The Emperor is attached to the sign of Aries, which is also a fire sign. So it may be that some of you are dealing with an Aries or somebody that's manifesting manifesting like the Emperor. It might be an older individual, a father figure. It could be a romantic partner, boyfriend or husband. I mean, the Emperor has a very, very masculine energy. It can sometimes show up for a female, but it's often male. The Chariot, success on a challenging path. It means that there may be a lot of moving parts, a lot of different things to consider in this situation. There's a path to success, but in order to do that, you're going to have to be focused on your goal and making sure that you pull everything together to aim it towards that goal. We have the Fool again with the Hermit. I feel like there's a need for balance in this situation. It feels like and the need is to take the best of both of these energies, the Hermit and the Fool. The Fool can often just go off, you know. The Fool is not so concerned about the destination. He's just all about the journey and exploring and adventure, and doesn't always have a lot of foresight in preparing or planning, right? Which is sometimes, the Fool in its own energy is kind of childlike in that sense, which is beautiful, but it can sometimes be foolish because there's no foresight, there's no planning to it, right? And the Hermit is the opposite. You see the Hermit holding up this lantern. And usually it's some version of that no matter what deck you use. That lantern is symbolic for his life experience or her life experience, right? The Hermit is usually represented as aged because, you know, the whole concept of wisdom and older people, and they've walked a long road, so they have a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge. They've learned a lot through success and failure and trial and error. And so they use this light, their experience, their wisdom, and their intuition in order to guide themselves down this narrow, kind of dangerous looking path. There's actually a snake on it. Well, he wants to avoid engaging with that snake or certainly stepping on that snake, right? So he's using this light to kind of carefully navigate. And again, that light is symbolic of wisdom. So it feels like there's a brand new path, the option for a new path or a new beginning or something, doing something completely different, right? Stepping out of going out into the unknown. And I think Spirit here is saying it's going to take a careful balancing of both of these energies to figure out how to move through this, because there are challenges, and those challenges for some of you involve another person or other people. Which makes sense because I really feel quite strongly that for many of you, there's a moral or ethical dilemma here. I mean, it could be in romance. It could be in anything so far. It could be that there's a way to do it. And, you know, sometimes when we close doors, Leo, sometimes we have to walk away from people too. And sometimes that can't help but be painful on one side, on the other side, on both sides. But there's a way to do it with as much transparency, honor, morality, ethics, and compassion as possible. And that may be the path that you're trying to figure out how to walk here. Let's take a look at that conflict in the Five of Wands and the Two of Wands. Six of Swords, a card of healing. You want to put something behind you and move forward into a better place. The Eight of Wands, the Nine of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles. The Nine of Swords is a card of stress, anxiety, and fear of an unknown future. It's trying to kind of look ahead, but with the worst possible negative outcome until it gets to be so big and horrible in your head that it often doesn't even fit the external reality, right? And it can be very paralyzing because there's two energies here. One is moving forward very quickly, very forcefully, knowing what you want and going after it. And then the other one here, the Knight of Pentacles, he always crosses the finish line, but he's a little slower. He's cautious. He's detail-oriented. He pays attention to the little things, right? So for some of you, the question may not be, do I step out into the unknown and start walking on this new path, but how I do it. What is the best way? I am getting a strong kind of practice restraint here and compassion. Temperance and the Page of Swords. Ace of Swords. That's clarity of thought. That's seeing a different perspective, a fresh perspective, seeing things for the truth of what they really are in order to, taking stock of what you have invested, what you want to accomplish. Can you accomplish more by staying in the same place or with the same things, the same situation? Or do you need to take what you have learned and build and move on to something else with the Two of Wands again? So clarity coming in here, and I feel like clarity will come to you. If at all possible, through your own words and actions, because that's all we can own. We can't own another person's. But if at all possible, through your own words and actions, through this, Leo, try to be as moral and ethical and compassionate as possible when dealing with other people, especially if it's other people you have to disappoint or let down by going in a different direction. Let's take a look at that. Fool and Strength. It feels like a lot of you are going to take this chance. The Ace of Pentacles, which is a brand new beginning. It might be a new beginning that has practical components to it, like a new job, a new project, moving, relocating, new money, something of that sort. We have the Five of Swords and the Sun. Again, some cautionary energy here because the Five of Swords can be a card of winning, of achieving your goal, your ambitions at all costs, no matter what that cost is, at the cost of other people, anything about that, right? For example, the Five of Swords in business can represent, well, I want to get to the top here and I'll sacrifice whatever I have to, my own morals, my own ethics, relationships, it doesn't matter as long as I achieve that goal. And the underlying question with that Five of Swords is it worth it? Does the end justify the means? Does achieving that fulfillment that you want or that objective that you want justify the efforts that you're putting into it or what you have to do? It may come at the cost of compromising your own morals and ethics. And it's not to say this isn't a path worth taking. It's just that there may be a better way to do it than just rushing off without, giving consideration to what you might be leaving behind or who you might be leaving behind and how. And that's kind of what I'm getting here. Needing to practice restraint and being careful as to how you do this, because it feels like most of you are going to. I'm not sure what it is. I mean, it could be in any area of life here. It's not clear to me. It could be in business or job or work. It could be in family dynamics for some of you. It could be in romance for others of you as well. Because I feel like not everybody's going to be on board with this new path. It may be because it separates you from them or you have to walk away or something of that sort. And you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? And if the answer is yes, then you have to ask yourself, okay, how can I do it in the best and most ethical way possible? With compassion as kind of an underlying theme here. meaning the consideration for other people. All right, let's pull some advice, guidance, feedback from Spirit. Strength again. The Two of Swords, tough choice. And it's a choice that's going to have to be made by balancing your intellect, like, okay, what's the practical components of this? What makes sense? And then your gut instinct, your intuition. Here's Justice, the reap what we sow card. So we want to make sure, justice is about the rule of law, what's fair, what's equitable, what's even, based on what people actually do. Not what they think or hope or wish, but what they actually do, right? Because it's a reap what you sow card. So you want to make sure that whatever you do it with as much transparency, honor, and ethics as possible. And compassion, if possible, as well. That is your path to victory. Change, that Wheel of Fortune coming in again. I feel like for some of you, Spirit has brought this opportunity for change in front of you, which is an indication that it's fine to take it. But it's also presenting a challenge, which means that you'll learn and grow and evolve from this in how you do it, and knowing that you have the strength, the courage, the resilience, and a moral and ethical foundation that can allow you to navigate through a perhaps difficult or challenging situation to get on a path that you want to be on, but navigate through it, kind of taking as high a road as possible. So I'm going to leave that there. Leo, those are your messages for the second half of November 2024. It's an interesting reading. For those of you for whom it resonated, I hope that it was helpful, that it made sense, that it gave you some food for thought or validated what you're already thinking and feeling. If it did, and you'd like to take a deep dive on it, and maybe take a deeper look and reach out for a personal reading with me for yourself or as a gift for someone else, or you simply like the reading style, if you're interested, email me, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. You can also see that contact information by clicking the description of this video, clicking that word more, and you'll see that there. I would be delighted to hear from you and to work with you. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the next set of readings. Until then, stay safe, stay well. Hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.